You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show podcast on KPEL965.com.
From the moments that shape our lives to those that shape our days, broadcasters are there, delivering the most trusted news that keeps you informed when it matters. We are your neighbors, a trusted voice, a lifeline. We are broadcasters. Text TV to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on your local TV and radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
If a natural disaster comes knocking, how prepared is your family? You can't just close the door on earthquakes, floods, or hurricanes and hope they go away. That's why it's important to make a plan now. Ready.gov/plan has the tools and tips you need to prepare your family for an emergency. So if disaster shows up at your doorstep, you'll be ready. Visit ready.gov/plan and make a plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pros studios. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
The incoming Trump border czar will go to the border. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, ahead of a mass deportation plan.
When Tom Homan arrives here tomorrow, he is going to be sending a message, and that message is that the Trump administration wants to be a partner for the state of Texas, not an adversary like we've seen with the Biden administration, which has essentially sued Texas every single time they've tried to secure their own border.
Fox's Bill Malugin in Eagle Pass. Some attorneys general in Democrat-led states and some governors and mayors are planning to defy federal deportation attempts, and Fox's Molly Line reports from Boston.
There are about a half a dozen sanctuary cities across the state of Massachusetts, but focusing on Somerville, the city council is going to take this up. They've had actually a long-held commitment since the late 80s to being a sanctuary city. The move coming, though, just a week after and despite ICE agents' arrest of an accused and wanted drug trafficker from Brazil in that city.
Israel and Hezbollah keep working on a possible ceasefire deal to stop fighting that's already killed many Hezbollah leaders, along with some civilians in Lebanon and Israel, where Iran-backed militants have fired rockets since the Hamas terror attack last year that triggered the war in Gaza. A disaster off the coast of Egypt, 17 people missing after a yacht sank.
There were 31 tourists and 14 crew on board the Sea Story when it left port on Saturday. They were on a 5-day diving trip from Egypt to the Red Sea, famous for its coral reefs. The Sea Story sent out a distress call shortly before dawn this morning. It's not yet known why it sank.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The day before a record Thanksgiving travel rush begins, there's a one-day strike at Charlotte's airport.
Employees at Charlotte Douglas International Airport who clean terminals, airplane cabins, who assist wheelchair-bound passengers and do other work are off the job and on the picket line, striking what they say is too little pay.
Is anywhere between $14 and $19 an hour.
The airport is open and flights are not interrupted.
That's Evan Brown. America's listening to Fox News.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.
Get ready for something fresh and exciting with the Josh Guillory Show. Josh Guillory brings a new perspective to the airwaves, analyzing news and issues coming out of Baton Rouge in Washington, D.C., and breaking down how they affect you. Engaging, raw, and informative, Guillory knows how to have fun while delivering the latest in politics and current events. With daily features that entertain and inform, you won't want to miss a single episode. The Josh Guillory Show, 4 p.m., Monday through Friday, only on News Talk 96.5, KPEL.
Hi, I'm E.J. Williams. Each year, millions of animals are abandoned, and more than 1 million are euthanized before they can be rescued. Organizations like American Humane are working to harness the healing power of the human-animal bond, as animals can be trained as life-saving service and therapy dogs to help veterans, the elderly, and children with special needs to overcome the obstacles of everyday life. To find out how you can help give animals and the people they help a new leash on life, please visit AmericanHumane.org.
Bikers Against Child Abuse empowers children to not feel afraid of the world in which they live. For more information, visit BACAworld.org. Our helpline is 866-885-9474. BACA, breaking the chains of abuse.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by Champines, located in the Oil Center. Champines, going the extra mile.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Baby, how y'all are? Welcome, Moon Griffon Show. What a day, what a day, what a great day to be with you. And Thanksgiving week is always festive week, family, food, fun. I love this time of year. Just love it. Get to see family members you hadn't seen a lot. Walker tell you when you get to see your uncles, you don't do nothing but get to laugh. So really looking forward to the week. We'll be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and of course, I won't be here Thursday or Friday. We'll be, my affiliates, we are. Yeah, and I tell my affiliates all the time, the only time we will not have a program for you, the only day is if Christmas falls during the week, and we will let you know. If a day rolls through New Year's Day, we'll have a program. Thanksgiving Day, there will be a program. Just letting you know that. It's you don't have to worry about it. The program, the tones, everything should work accordingly. And you don't have to go scramble for programs except on Christmas Day, depending on, I think Christmas Day is a Wednesday this year, so that would be the exception. We'll have a program all the way to December 24th. But I love Thanksgiving week. Always a great time. Take a little time off and enjoy life. Work hard. Got a lot of work still to do for the next few days. But after that, kind of take it easy. And no, I don't know if I'm going fishing. But you can bet if I get a chance, I will. You know, it's amazing. I went to family. We went to Phoenix, Arizona. And I want to get real quick to the session. I don't have a lot to talk about a special session, but I will talk a little bit about it. A lot of national stuff today as well. We want to get to during the course of the program in these next couple hours. So, Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. So, I got to go to Phoenix, Arizona to go to a wedding. Why? Well, the new couple, should I say, is they live in over there around Phoenix, Arizona. Because they're young people, 25-year-old kids, young adults, they live in a different state. Why? That's where their work is at. I was informed while I was there in the weekend with my lovely bride. Don't forget in February, we got to go to, ready? Little Rock, Arkansas. I like Little Rock, nice place. It's about 6.5 hour drive. Now, of course, we flew to Phoenix. I said, what am I going to Little Rock for? We have another wedding to go to. One of the kids is from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We're going to another wedding. We're going in another state. I got to tell y'all, we got to do something about this out-migration because usually you could pop over in a day, go to a wedding, and be back home that night. So now I'm going to be in Little Rock for a couple nights. And by the way, I'm not the only one doing this. And a lot of people got to do this because we have allowed, especially under the 8 years of Bel Edwards, just people have, every one of those kids that I'm going to now, their weddings, it was 3 now. And I don't think the young lady from Baton Rouge is marrying somebody from Louisiana. But she works out of Louisiana.
And it's amazing that each one of these kids we're talking about, they're at that age in about the mid-20s or so, and getting married. These are Bell Edwards kids. These are Bell boys. That's his governorship. He didn't give a damn. All he cared about was federal money, Medicaid increase, and how much federal money can we get, and how many taxes we can raise. I'll get to taxes in a minute. But anyway, that just shows you that you had a governor who just kept that good old boy network driving hard. And I told you, on steroids in the wrong direction. He's a horrible governor. He hurt this state. He hurt it bad. He hurt the people that need to be here. These young people we're talking about, they're going to have babies. They're almost every single one of them, well-educated. The two I'm talking about are well-educated. And by folks, I use educated as high school or college graduate. They're educated. They can do things. So it's not just college, but these people educated, going to have babies. You want those babies to have. You want them to grow up here. No, they're not. And it's something I fought for 31 years on the radio, going, when do we change this? Well, according to the governor, and I'm going to take his word for it. I got a 5-minute clip on the governor, and it was bragging, and he's got some stuff to brag about that the state did for the first time in forever. And the session passed. Now, look, overall picture for me, okay? I'm going to take the governor at his word. I talked to a lot of people in the legislature. I think a lot of people in the legislature don't really know what happened, but they feel like something happened and it happened in the old step in the right direction. I call this a step in the right direction. I said that's probably what I would call it. But according to the governor and according to a lot of people I'm talking to, they feel like it's a lot bigger step. They feel like, and I'm saying, I'm hoping and praying they're 100% right. I'm pulling for them. I hope that God does everything they wanted to do in the session that just ended. I do. I'm going to just stick and watch and sit back and watch and learn because change here is hard. I think that's the big thing to remember. Change here is so hard because we're used to the Bell Edwards type of governing where nothing happens, people leave, we never create an economy, bridges and roads don't get fixed. And Bell Edwards, he was trying to let boys go to girls' bathrooms, and Bell Edwards was trying to let 10-year-old boys and girls have sex operations, for God's sakes. And the Republicans, at least in that point, stopped Bell Edwards' woke agenda. That dude's woke. And now the green new agenda is here that he helped put in here, and that's how he's making his money. He makes Bell set up Bell. Nobody can argue with what I just said because I'm 100,000% right. So it's hard. It's hard to do what they did do. And I'll be the first to tell you, after listening and talking to a lot of people, from legislators to lobbyists and people that do it, they think we made better than a step in the right direction. The governor's enthusiasm says way better. He called it a giant step in the right direction, which is better than a step in the right direction because we take about 2 inches. A giant step would be better. And I'm willing to give him a benefit of the doubt. Let's see. The governor claims it's the biggest tax break we've ever seen in the history of Louisiana. I don't doubt that because we never see any. Okay? We still back to the 1-cent sales tax. Somebody asked me this morning on a radio program, what's the difference between Bell Edwards raising a penny and Jeff raising a penny? Well, Bell Edwards was a full penny. And Bell Edwards was to help spend the hell out of a lot of money because he claimed we had $2 billion budget deficit, which, by the way, to this day, I know is a lie from hell him and Jay Darden made up, and they still ain't proved me wrong. And that's been 9 years, and nobody wants to prove me wrong because they can't prove me wrong. You can't prove a negative. You can't prove it. There's no way for them to come to me and show me how that worked. It's not. Bell lied, and me and you paid. And so theirs was to grow government and to spend more money and then drop to a 0.45, which is still a tax increase. This 1 cent on the sales tax is because what they did, they offset some other taxes. The 1 cent sales tax brings in $1.1 billion, which might be the largest tax increase ever. I don't know. But the 1% sales tax plus the $200 million on business utilities is the $1.3 billion. Then they cut $1.3 billion income taxes, which that's supposed to balance out in a tax swap. The beautiful thing here is some of the corporate taxes will be cut or done away with, which, according to the public policy and what the governor's saying and some of the elected officials, this is a good move. And I'm not arguing with it. I think it is a good move. It is. So the 1 cent sales tax that Jeff and them talked about, they cut taxes to go along with it. The 1 cent Bell Edwards added, and some of these stupid Republicans like Cocktail Couson, Nancy Pelosi Davis, that was a gigantic tax increase because he was able to scare people that we might not have LSU football anymore. And the hospitals were going to close and all the craziness that Bell and the Good Old Boy Network put on us. So there's a gigantic, don't even compare the sales tax increase by Landry compared to Edwards. It's not even comparable. And if you go back and look at the lie between him and Jay Darden, the 1 cent sales tax, because we had to cover a $2 billion budget, that was a lie made up. You realize the governor's the only one that knows where every penny goes. When the legislature gets the budget, they just know where it goes. They don't know where it goes. They know what department it goes, but they don't know how it's spent. So they got to make a decision based on information they don't have. And Bell Edwards and them made up that there was never a talk of $2 billion. There was never a talk of probably much more than $1 billion budget deficit. Jumped to $2 billion overnight when Bell gave his budget because Bell had to lie, and he knew the media and especially the devil's advocate would walk along with him on a gigantic lie. We got a $2 billion budget deficit. And they still writing about it. The latest was Tyler Bridges putting it in the paper again. A $2 billion budget. He inherited hell. He didn't inherit a damn thing. He voted for every one of Jindal's budgets but one or two. He didn't inherit it. He was a floor leader for Jindal. Oh, he inherited it from Bobby. No, he didn't. Bobby was a way better governor than Bell Edwards. You can get mad all you want to because people in government, you weren't getting all you wanted, but Bell made sure you got it. So all of a sudden, Edwards was a better governor, which is BS. Bell hurt this state, and he set us back. Our migration was slowing down tremendously under Bobby Jindal. Go look at the 8 years Bobby was there, and go look at the 8 years Bell was there. And you'll find in 2016, when Bell got in there to today, our migration is swamping us. Just a fact, Jack. So there's a big difference between this 1 cent and the one Bell and Paula Pelosi Davis and all them gave us. Big difference, folks. Gigantic difference. Because one was based on a damn lie. And this was based on if we're going to cut the income taxes, we're going to raise the sales taxes. People would rather pay sales taxes over income taxes. And most of the people I talk to, they feel the same way. But it does affect more the local, the poor, and some of the lower middle class people. All right, let's take a break. I'll come back and wrap this up. I got a lot to cover. Don't go nowhere. You're welcome. By the way, we're giving away Cane River pecans. Oh, yes, we are. Email me, moon@moongriffon.com. Moon@moongriffon.com and see if you can win some Cane River pecans. Let me know you want to win. Give me an address. We'll put you in the hopper, baby. Maybe you will win. When you think about how you'll spend your money in retirement, what comes to mind? Probably travel, sunny beaches, and spoiling your grandchildren. But a recent survey found that over 30% of every dollar a retiree spends goes to taxes. Baby boomers were told for years to save money in their IRAs and 401ks and pay taxes later. Well, now that day has arrived, and boomers are shocked to see a third of their money going back to Uncle Sam. John Blanchard and the Matthew James Financial Group can help. What if you could protect all or most of your retirement wealth from future tax rate increases? Achieve a zero or near zero effective tax rate for most of your retirement years. Find out more. 337-366-8366. Isn't it time you got a second opinion on your wealth and retirement outlook? Learn how you could potentially kick the IRS out of your IRA. 337-366-8366 and online at MatthewJames.com.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. It's termite season. Did you know termites are responsible for over $1 billion worth of damage in Louisiana alone? For over 60 years, J&J Exterminating has been shielding homes and businesses. 100% guaranteed against termites, pests, and mosquitoes. Louisiana-owned, customer-focused. J&J Exterminating.
Call him today, make pests go away. J&J Exterminating.
Get the shield.
Yeah. Line One is a business telecom provider. Line One specializes in cloud-based communication with superior customer service. If you're frustrated with phone bills you can't understand, endless hold time to customer support, and phone system that is not meeting your needs, then you need to go to Line.1 and schedule a free consultation to advance your business phone system. Line One, technology with a human touch. Go to Line.1 and tell them Moon sent you. Again, that is Line.1.
Everywhere you turn.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. It is great to be with you on Thanksgiving week. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline, 844-766-6607. Real quick, we'll take a call up, and you're welcome to call, folks, and be part of the Moon Griffon Show. I'm all happy for the legislature. I pray it's 100% like the governor and some of the legislators are telling me. I consider it a step in the right direction. I don't like to necessarily hear that, but I get it. My one frustration with the whole thing is, which I think was still important, I think for it to be really called what I call tax reform, but that's just me. I give the governor credit. I'm with it. But there's no state spending cuts, none, zero, nada. Now, what I'm hearing is they're going to do zero balanced budget for the next couple of years, which means if you do that, you'll be cutting out hundreds of millions out the budget. So if they do that, and the governor told me I'm on program, in all fairness to him, to hold them responsible. Well, I'm not God, I can't do that, but I can do the best I can. But I just think cutting spending is still the state problem. I think it's our biggest problem. I still think cutting spending, we didn't go there. Now, a standstill budget, a real standstill budget, that's gotta have some teeth to it. If you have growth of, there's also one of the things, let me point out one other thing. One of the other points is that it does have a cap on spending. I forget 2-3%, whatever it is. So there is a cap. And I think the people that got the cap were surprised they were able to get it. But they did get a cap on spending. So that's good, folks. That's good again. The cuts on businesses, very good. Income tax cut, trying to get to zero. Last thing, and I'll take a call. What's step 2? If you tell me we're doing nothing next year to enhance this besides the constitutional amendment, I got to get to that too because that's really important. But I'll get to that in a minute. Constitutional amendment, I'll talk about why I think that will pass in just a few minutes because that big constitutional amendment, still some stuff they need to do in the session. But will they continue? Because all these states didn't do one thing and then didn't do nothing else every year. They were trying to do something. All right, let's take Jack in Ellick. How you doing, Jack?
Hey, man, I'm fine. I have two things to tell you. Number one is my wife and I went to see a relative in Gulfport last week. And we got on the other side of Spy Hill, and we turned into your New Orleans station, and we heard your show all the way to Gulfport.
Oh man, that's awesome! That is awesome. Thank you for Was that 990?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, good. Glad that's Correa and them station. Yeah, we're getting a lot of response out of New Orleans area now. We're excited about it.
And the second thing I want to tell you, and this has something to do with people leaving here. I have a good friend who lives in Alexandria. He told me that his wife was in Houston 2 weeks ago, and an illegal alien hit her and totaled their car. Well, he has an uninsured motorist here, and they told him, said, well, we want to tell you that we're going to pay to fix this car, but your rates are going to go up.
Yeah, I ain't no doubt. I don't doubt that at all. I just don't doubt it at all.
Yeah, so we can't even have uninsured motorists and an insurance company in Louisiana, and they blame this. They said this was the prior commissioner of insurance put this through. I don't know that, but that's what they told him.
Yeah.
Well, why even have insurance if every time if you're not in the wrong, you raise the rates on the people you insure?
Yeah. Well, I just don't know how it works. I know this. The bottom line is we better get our act together on insurance. And I'm going to talk about that, too, because the insurance has gotten ridiculous here. And before you know it, people forget about tax breaks and income tax coming down. They want to know what's going to happen with these insurance rates. And I think the legislature's got to draft. I'll tell you what I do. I call every trial lawyer and say, come on, we're having a meeting. Y'all come on. Everyone in political, come on in. Y'all tell us how to fix it. I'd make them son of a guns fix it. Okay? Because they're not going to fix it. They don't want to fix it. They just want to blame the insurance company. How rich the insurance companies? Well, like I said, they might be. But they're not the ones running advertising beating up trial lawyers, but it's trial lawyers running advertising beating up insurance companies. That's a fact. Not all of them. There's only a few, but it's a few of the big ones. So, all right, Jack, got to run.
We appreciate you.
All right, well, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too, man. Bye-bye.
We got to walk. So we got to take a break. I did want to talk two more things. Constitutional amendment. Go back to these insurance rates and how this really is the big deal. You got to be able to afford. Businesses have to be able to afford to come in and be able to buy insurance. Anyway, all that and more. Happy Thanksgiving. Kangaroo Pecan giveaway in a little while. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. With 5 Louisiana locations, I always make it a point to visit Superior Grill when I'm traveling in the great state of Louisiana. I love the food there. It's authentic Mexican food with a Louisiana twist. Their menu has all your favorites: nachos, quesadillas, enchiladas, tacos, fajitas, hand-cut steaks, and the best margaritas in the state. You can go to Superior for lunch or dinner, and folks, you're going to thank me for it. My lovely bride and I eat at Superior Grill every chance we get. They're on Line Avenue in Shreveport, Government Street and Highland Road in Baton Rouge, St. Charles Avenue in New Orleans, and on College Saloon in Lafayette. I'm talking great food, great service, and great margaritas. The best Mexican food with the Louisiana twist is found at Superior Grill, Shreveport on Line Avenue, Baton Rouge on Government Street and Highland Road, New Orleans on St. Charles Avenue, and College Saloon in Lafayette. This is Moon Griffon. I'll see you at Superior Grill. This is Moon Griffon. My good buddy Jeff and the folks at Hudco Roofing and Exteriors is Louisiana's premier professional roofing contractor, specializing in residential roofing services. Remember, your roof protects everything, you and your family, and most of your possessions. And that's where Hudco Roofing comes in. These folks aren't just your average roofers. They're the #1 roofing company in the state. Whether you need a repair or brand new roof, Hudco Roofing has you covered. Hudco is a CertainTeed Select Shingle Master and takes every roof all the way down to the decking to make sure there are no hidden damages. Hudco Roofing is also a state-certified installer of the Fortified Roofing System, and that's a big deal. Anywhere in Louisiana, you can get a free roof inspection and quote from Hudco Roofing. Go to HudcoRoofing.com for quality workmanship, premium products, and unparalleled customer service. This is Moon Griffon. I trust Hudco Roofing of Louisiana, and so should you. HudcoRoofing.com. That's HudcoRoofing.com.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by Champagnes, located in the Oil Center. Champagnes, going the extra mile.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. It is the Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you back with us. 844-766-66 6607 is the number, Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. Happy Thanksgiving. We're all giving away Cane River pecans. A lot of people are trying to get them. Somebody's going to win them today. Email me, moon@moongriffon.com, and say you want to win. Don't forget, if you want to gift your customers, man, gift them with Cane River pecans. I've been doing it for a long time. I want to say 13 years. And I'm just letting you know that if you are a company or business out there and you want to gift, do it with Cane River pecans. And you can get your logo and all that put on the tin. It's beautiful. They're going to love it. They'll keep that tin laying around their house or in their office right there and start putting other things in it. It's just good. I'm just being blunt. So CaneRiverPecan.com, CaneRiverPecan.com. All right, and we're going to give away some. Just give me email me, say you want to win. Make sure you put your address, because if you don't put your address, folks, I can't help you. I don't have time to call and get numbers out and all that stuff. We just don't have time for that. So I'm asking you to take care of that. And if you win, between me and Cane River Pecan, we will definitely get you taken care of. A couple other things. So it's done. It's over. I pray that the thing, what is next? I would like to start hearing talk about the next step. I'm just telling y'all, I've been around it enough to know that you can get the first big step was accomplished, according to the governor, according to some of the people. Okay? I'm just telling you, we got to have another step and another step and another step and another step. And if you're not going to do that, you're never going to get to where you're really trying to get to. I've just talked to other people in other states, other elected officials that did this, and they said it's a constant fight every year, and it takes as much as 8, 10, 12 years to get where you need to get. So you can't stop now. So what is the next step? I didn't hear anybody talk about what we're going to do next year. Let me just take you back 4 years ago. It's about 3 or 4 years ago. And I heard about tort reform. They passed tort reform. And I said it was not a tort reform bill. They ain't going to do anything. The trial lawyer said it wasn't going to do anything either, but I don't trust them. So I found out for myself it didn't do anything. So we said, okay, what's the next step? And they said, well, we can't do another step until we get another governor. I said, then why take the first one? Why take the first one, go around and brag that you took a step when you really didn't take anything? Told that to all of them. And found out that it never did anything. Nothing. I had somebody got their feelings hurt. I told them, they said, well, I helped put the law together. I said, well, it was a nothing burger. They got their feelings hurt. It was a lady. I didn't mean I hurt her feeling, but I hurt her feeling about saying it's a nothing burger. Well, I worked hard on it. I said, it don't matter if you worked hard on it. They watered it down. So folks, I'm right by asking the question, what is step 2? And when does it start? Does it start in the next session? What is the next step? The other thing is the governor promised a standstill budget. I had heard he promised to cut $500 million out the budget. I don't know what's out there. I just know that if they do a standstill budget, that standstill budgets can be funny as well. And we do have a deal. So that's it. Number 2, constitutional amendment. Now, the constitutional amendment, there's going to be a lot of money behind the constitutional amendment. Businesses will probably be behind the constitutional amendment. I know the governor, they're going to spend a lot of money to make sure this passes. They're not, if you think they're going to sit back, they're not. They might even start now, today, talking about what they want to do and they need to get this passed. I would. I'd start in January 1st, 2nd. And I don't know who's going to be against the Constitution. This is, by the way, not the constitutional amendments, which I'm hoping to deal with today or tomorrow. Not the constitutional amendments that you're voting on in December. This has to do with the constitutional amendment that's associated with the package, the gigantic package that just passed. Okay? That's the one, and we're voting on that in March. You're going to hear a lot about it, I promise you. I don't know who's going to be against this yet. The reason why I say that is if you're going to be against something, you better bring the money. Because I think the major businesses and people like that are going to be for getting rid of franchise tax and something to do with the inventory tax, which I think that's still confusing to a lot of even the representatives and locals. So whoever's going to be against this better bring some money or it's going to be child's play. Because I think the governor and the business community have to get behind a constitutional amendment in March that you can go to polls, and they know there's not going to be a lot of people going to the polls in March. So they're going to try to drive their people out there to go vote. I don't think you're going to have a turnout of, depending on what's on the ballot, you may have something else in March in a local area, but for the most part, it's got to be passed. And so that's got to happen. They got to have some stuff still has to happen in the regular session. What is the next step? Because if there's not another step, and we're going to say, well, we did it, we're done. I'm just telling you, as much as they make and brag about this, you have to come up with the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. And every year they better be doing something to make it where we're competitive. And the third, and this is the last thing on this, and it really has nothing to do with this. Somebody actually said, do you mean a Constitutional Convention? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Constitutional amendment that's coming off this special session. It's a constitutional amendment, not a constitutional convention. Constitutional amendment will be voted on in March. I don't know nothing about no constitutional convention. Oh, you talking about, no. I don't think they're doing that. The constitutional amendment is going to be on the ballot, not a constitutional convention. They tried that. That didn't work. I don't know if they have any plans to do any kind of constitutional convention. This is just an amendment that's coming out of the legislation that was just passed. They got to do some switching around. They got income taxes, all that stuff gets into the Constitution. So they've got some changes. The other thing is insurance rates. And I'm just telling y'all, insurance rates have got to be dealt with now. It's over. It's no more playing with this. They have got to bring the trial lawyers, the political trial lawyers, to the table and say, okay, why don't they just bring them in and say, tell us how to fix it. Tell us how to fix it. Well, y'all going to make money, the insurance companies can survive, and people can pay the rates. Would y'all agree with that? All I see is insurance companies making a lot of money. Insurance companies, that's fine. How about what are trial lawyers doing? You think they're sitting on the sideline not doing well? They own commercials bragging about the billions of dollars they got for their customers. By the way, they don't tell you they get about 35, 40% of that or more, and their expenses, do they? They don't tell you that. They kind of leave that out, don't they? And I'll try. Law firms, insurance companies are making billion dollars of profit. And then they send out this information and numbers based on a national deal, which I could care less at this point. So let's let the trial lawyers, the political trial lawyers, I'm talking about the political ones, the ones that's all got their nose in everything. Let's let them come in and tell us what the answer is. Don't y'all, by the way, the reason I say that is, guess who never shows up to the table when they talk about insurance rates? It's trial lawyers. They send one rep, one lobbyist to go ahead and go see what they're doing, let us know so we know how to beat it. I'm not being ugly to the trial lawyers. I got some good friends, but if the trial lawyers and the political trial lawyers, if they know what's best and insurance companies are so bad, then let the trial lawyers go in with Jeff and say, here's how we're going to fix it. Bring in a legislator. Let's listen to the trial. They brighter. They smarter than anybody. They got Bill Edwards. They got all these trial lawyers on TV, how smart they are, driving in their private jets, standing on big trucks, claiming they've won $3 billion for their customers. Man, they're smart. Why don't they come tell? Think about what I'm saying next time you see a political trial lawyer. Mr. Trial Lawyer, how would you fare? How do you fix it? Well, y'all can survive, insurance companies survive, and how about once would the trial lawyer say, let's make sure people are winning by paying lower rates? Because the trial lawyers are fighting the insurance companies and vice versa, and here we are paying the freight. And they don't give a rat's rear about us because they're making billions. According to the commercials, they're making billions. By the way, we couldn't do a service tax on them, could we? I'm just telling you, folks, that issue right there, to me, is every bit big as the one we just saw happen in the legislature. So we got next year. But folks, this is the 25th of November. We're 6 weeks away from this year being over, going into next year. When a new president, thank the Lord Jesus. And by the way, if President Trump in the Dodge and they come and cut money, how do we survive that? I'm just kind of curious. How are we going to survive the federal government telling the state, we're going to cut you 20%? Let's take a break. 844-766-6607. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. Calls are welcome. Don't forget, email me, moon@moongrafon.com if you want to win. Been telling you about Schumacher Homes for a long time. Now, for a limited time, you can choose from 5 different financing offers and pick one that works best for you. Whether you're an active duty, military, or veteran, you can take advantage of the exclusive VA construction loan offer. You can lock in 30-year fixed financing for as low as 3.875. How about that? Looking to stay in your home and start construction right away? A stay in your home loan might be right for you. With this option, you can stay in your home during construction and not worry about moving twice. And for you first-time home buyers, we're not going to forget you. For a limited time, they're offering 30-year fixed financing as low as 3.875. Other financing offers include no-cost refinancing, conventional loans, and FHA construction loans. If you're thinking of building your dream custom home, there's no time like the present to start building. SchumacherHomes.com. SchumacherHomes.com. Let them build your dream home. They're building dream homes one at a time. I've been bragging about Dino Hardwoods for a long time. My good friend Charles Altman, they do an excellent job. And if you're looking for unique or hard-to-find hardwood lumber, plywood, and molding, it's Dino Hardwoods. That's where you need to go. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com. Trust Dino Hardwoods for all your hardwood lumber and cypress needs. With the holiday season fast approaching, as you know, a timeless handmade gift using quality lumber by Dino just means more. With 3 great locations to serve you now, Broussard, Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana, and now he's expanded in Tyler, Texas. Folks, there's something for every discerning woodworker at Dino. Go to DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com, and check out the unique and hard-to-find hardwood, lumber, plywood, and molding that you can't just find anywhere. Charles Altman, trust me, is not a better man in the business. He knows what he's doing, and he wants to service you. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com.
LA22. Did you know that 1 in 14 children experience homelessness at some point in time in their life? The Gifting Grace Project, Acadiana's homeless children's outreach, seeks to help them. Go to giftinggraceproject.com to partner with us and donate today.
Hello, welcome back. It is the Moon Griffon Show. It is great to be with you. Happy Thanksgiving. It's a week. Some people are already off. Some people are already flying. Hope you get a chance to enjoy your family. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline, 844-766-6607. By the way, I didn't get any word back on. I didn't get any word back to see if Cameron Henry, Senate President, guy, how was his goose hunt this weekend? See how he's doing on his goose hunt. I didn't get any report on that, so I hope they shot a bunch of geese, and I hope they got to shoot a bunch of them. But he was trying to go on a goose hunt to end that session pretty quick. So it's just checking. I mean, I want to make sure he had a good time. I just looked up the BBC. I think it's the Brits. Voting this Friday on a bill to give assisted suicides. That's a lot of sick stuff. Assisted suicides. I know some people say, well, you live till you get look, let's all be honest. Cancer, everything's bad. Dementia, watching that for 5, 6, 7 years with my own dad was tough. We just never thought, boy, we wish we could kill him. I can promise you my mama didn't think that way. You make life trivial. Life. That's what's sad about these leftists and these cuckoos, like in the Democrat Party. 65 million babies slaughtered in a womb. And then we're going to kill them in the beginning, and we can't get them in the beginning, and they live through the end of the process, we kill them at the end. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. What a sick world we live in. Kill them at the beginning or kill them at the end. Just make sure you get them, because in other words, they'll die in between, and that's good. I don't understand. Stuff like that may be beyond me, over my head to understand. And we now are there doctors who are made really to help people. Are we gonna let doctors kill people now? My thought process ain't there. I don't understand some of that stuff. You know? I don't understand how in the world we come up with laws like that. I just don't. By the way, one other thing, too. So, events of people not showing up for Senate votes. You know, everybody's worried that Trump may do some recess appointments. And, but the Senate, GOP slammed over Senate absences that helped Biden score more judges than lame duck. Conveyor belt of radicals, too. Senate Republicans faced criticism over several votes absent this week that allowed Democrats to confirm judges and agree to end debate on nominees that otherwise could have been blocked. One particularly crucial vote was on Monday for the lifetime appointment to the 11th U.S. Circuit Court, a coveted appeals court slot to which Democrats did not have the vote to confirm President Biden's nominee since outgoing Manchin voted against. Mike Braun of Indiana, Steve Daines of Montana, Bill Hagerty of Tennessee, J.D. Vance of Ohio, and Marco Rubio of Florida did not vote. The nominee was confirmed 49-45. Had they been there, you'd have blocked them. Tell you, Biden has got so many judges, folks, that are radical leftist cuckoos like him and Obama. The leftist judge would have been voted down, and the seat on the important 11th Circuit Court would have been filled by Donald Trump next year had Republicans showed up, wrote Governor Ron DeSantis on X. Now the leftist judge will have a lifetime appointment, and the people of Florida, Alabama, and Georgia will suffer the consequences. Yeah, because we already know how they're going to rule. They could care less about the law and the Constitution. By the way, Mike Davis, former chief counsel for nomination to former Senator Judiciary Committee Chuck Grassley in Iowa, told Fox News, listen to this, I've been explaining this for 30 years. A senator's only job is to show up to vote. Do you realize that's the job of the representative senators? They have a voting record? That's why when Cameron half-assed Henry said, we ain't going to take some votes because I want to protect the senators, I always thought that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's their job to vote. Biden's jamming through bottom-of-the-barrel radical left-wing judge. Look, they hate this country. You people don't understand. You put these senators back in Wisconsin and all this stuff. I mean, this is absolutely ludicrous that Democrats hate this country. They hate it. I ain't saying all the voters hate it. I'm saying these senators like Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden come out, they hate this country. Jamming through bottom-of-the-barrel radical left-wing judges. Lifetime appointments. They don't even show up to vote. They don't even debate. Who do you think Joe Biden's putting in these judgeships, folks? You think he's putting nice, conservative, Christian people who understand the Constitution? No. He's putting in radical nuts. Nutting up nuts. And we got Republicans don't show up. And y'all want me to be a Republican? Why? Trump could put these appointments. The Senate Republicans, I don't care if Vance going to be the VP. I don't care if I think Secretary of State, I think they're asking Rubio, you need to be there. It's your job. You know what my job was today? To come here and be on this radio program. You know why you out there working today? It's your job to go to work. Why can they take off so much? They work for us. We want them to stop every Biden nominee you can stop. He's a radical goofball Looney Tune being run by Barack Obama, who's another left-leaning, leftist Marxist. We want those people to put their buddies in these positions of lifetime appointments. See, folks, it's all these little things that you kind of wonder, I mean, what the hell are we doing? It don't make any sense to me. It makes no sense whatsoever, and that's what we're doing. Republicans don't show up. 5 Republicans don't show up and you get beat 49-45. You know? Joe Manchin's resigned. You could block everything Biden wants right now. And you don't do it? Why? What's the purpose? Home with the kid, home for the holidays? Not your job. I don't want to hear nothing. Listen, whoever Trump wants in his position, I don't want to hear nothing from the Republicans, all of them not voting for his appointees. And if he don't, he can do recess appointments. He just do them. To hell with the Republicans. If that's what they're going to do, not show up. Hell, 2 of the people that didn't show up are going to work for the president. The VP and Rubio. You can let Trump make those appointments. You know, life matters to us. And Ron DeSantis is right. How in the world can they not show up when you can block nutted up Looney Tunes who don't care about the Constitution, don't care about God, don't care about your family? They're going to vote the way they want to vote. They could care less about it. I don't understand. I don't understand some Republicans. I never will. All right, we got to take a break. More to come. Moon Griffon Show, Climate Czar at 10:30. Man, there's so much stuff in the climate world that they're not telling the truth on. And the problem with it is, I'm watching bankruptcy after bankruptcy after bankruptcy on this stuff. Anyway, we'll take a break. Be right back.
John Wayne Frazier.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Brobridge, Lafayette, a Town Square media station, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pro Studio.
Will the rockets finally stop? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A ceasefire is looming the day after Israel endured yet another barrage fired by militants from Lebanon that led to more Israeli airstrikes in response.
The Israeli cabinet will meet tomorrow to finalize a ceasefire with Hezbollah. That's according to an Israeli official speaking to Reuters after reports the two sides had agreed to a deal in principle. It would see Israeli troops withdraw from Lebanon and Hezbollah pull back from the border. The Lebanese military would be deployed as a buffer between the two sides.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. President-elect Trump's incoming border czar, Tom Homan, will go to the border tomorrow in Eagle Pass, Texas, where Fox's Bill Malugin reports that just yesterday, state troopers encountered about 200 more migrants crossing illegally. Among them,
60 unaccompanied migrant children, some as young as 2 years old. These are tiny little kids who are here with no adults, no guardians, being trafficked into the country by drug cartels and human smugglers. Some of them have little pieces of paper with addresses scribbled on them, places they want to go in the country to reunite with friends or family. Florida, California, Texas, New York, Missouri, Washington, Wisconsin.
Now, some Democrats, from attorneys general to governors to mayors, are planning to resist the Trump plan to carry out mass deportations. Some Americans have started to travel for Thanksgiving ahead of the rush that starts tomorrow. AAA predicts a record number of us, almost 80 million, will go somewhere. And as we get closer to the holiday, the weather could cause trouble.
For the west, rain along the coast and snow for the higher elevations. 3 to 4 feet will pile up over the Sierra Nevada range and into the Rockies. We also have 2 storms back to back for the eastern third of the country, bringing snow for the Great Lakes, the upper Midwest, and interior Northeast.
As Fox meteorologist Janice Dean at the White House, President Biden is about to pardon peach and blossom in the pre-Thanksgiving tradition of sparing 2 turkeys. America's listening to Fox News.
When they say free, they really mean check the fine print. They say free iPhone, but only if you trade in your $1,000 phone, pay $100 a month for unlimited data, and also a $35 activation fee. Now, Pure Talk, they have a better option. You'll get a brand new iPhone 14 with unlimited talk, text, 15 gigabytes of data, mobile hotspot for just $50 a month. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Pure Talk.
Central banks worldwide are sending a signal. They're buying gold at record prices because they need to. The massive debt Trump is inheriting, the uncertainty. Think about it. Just visit noblegoldinvestments.com now and use promo code TRUMP. You'll get up to 10 1-ounce silver Trump coins or a 10-ounce silver American flag bar with a qualifying account. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial...
Court-appointed special advocates, or CASA, are specially trained volunteers that help secure safe homes for abused and neglected children. Don't let these innocent victims slip through the cracks of our complicated legal system. Get involved today. Call CASA at 268-5111. This nonprofit organization moment brought to you by News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Every day at 5 p.m. right here on News Talk 96.5 KPEL, it's me, Joe Cunningham, with The Joe Cunningham Show, offering you news, analysis, and commentary you're not going to get anywhere else. The big news stories of the day, and even some of the headlines you may not be aware of. It's your local, state, and national news coverage from a local perspective right here. Every day, News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Check us out, The Joe Cunningham Show, every day at 5 p.m.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Hello, what a day, what a day. Great to have you with us on this beautiful Thanksgiving week as it cranks up. Happy Thanksgiving from the Moon Griffon Show. Thank y'all so much for putting up with me. It's been a quick year, actually. I'm kind of shocked how quick the year has gone by, my Lord. And here we are. We already went through a presidential election, and we went through a special session that's supposed to change the state. And by the way, I hope it does. I'm really hoping it does. Once again, I'm going to just kick back and pray and hope it all works out. You know, we'll hope and pray that everything they're telling us is on the money. I do. I mean that sincerely. I want it to. Man, we need a change here. I don't know how quick all this starts to work. I just think there's still a lot more work to do. If we don't do the other work, then can we get there? That's my question. Okay. That's the question that needs to be asked. What's the next step? You know? I think it matters what the next step is. When will they let us know what the next step is? You know, I think it's important. You cannot, for lack of a better word, poo-poo the reform that we need for insurance reform. We can't, folks. It's just, I mean, we gotta have somebody step up to do that. If you're a trial lawyer, you believe you're right, fine. Why don't you come to the table and tell us what we need to do? Why don't you come to the table for once? That's everybody. Don't be selfish. Trial lawyers included. Insurance companies included. and say, okay, here's how we can fix it, boys and girls. Here's what we need to do. Is it just competition? Is it just getting more companies here? I mean, everybody in business wants to make money. You know, the people in the trial lawyers and the insurance companies, they taking our money. It's your money and our money. And they, you know, for us to be able to pay our insurance, you got to be able to make money. I just want to see trial lawyers' plan. What's the trial lawyer plan? Every time insurance comes up and insurance comes to the table and says, here's what we need, they go, oh, no, that ain't going to work. Oh, no, that ain't going to work. Oh, we done 124 tort laws and it never changed. Okay, then let's say insurance companies lied. Let's say insurance companies lied. Where's the trial lawyers? When did the trial lawyers come into the plate? I mean, this is for, you know, we always do stuff for the children. How about let's do something for the people? Let's put together a committee. Bill Edwards and the guy that stands on the truck, the big G guy. I mean, I've had LeBoy and Earls on here several times. Let's put them, a Morris Bort. Let's put all the big ones out there. Glenn Armaton. Put them all out there. All these people running, spending all this money. Talking about they helping you. When are they going to come forward and say, you know what, this is what we need to do? If we'll do this, we can still make money. Insurance companies can make money, and people will not get hit so hard. So what's the answer? We got trial lawyers in Texas. Trial lawyers, I saw a big law firm in Phoenix, Arizona this week. Somebody and somebody, but I don't remember who they were. They're making it over there. Their insurance rates ain't as bad as ours, so what gives? I mean, what gives? And folks, I'm right about this, and I think y'all would agree with me. I'm just saying, so what gives? Let's let the people who claim it's all the insurance companies' fault. They just making billion-dollar profit. What about people that are paying these rates? What about people who can't afford to pay a car insurance anymore? Are we going to do something about that? Well, I think if the trial lawyers don't come to the table and tell us what we need to do, then I don't know if we're ever going to get there. I just don't know if we're going to ever get there. And I'm telling you right now, no matter what they do in business-wise, these companies are not coming. We got to have competition. We better be working on this double time. The governor vetoed a bill last time that said it's not going to help. Okay, let's give the governor credit. He did it. Let's say he was right. Then what's the answer? Because, you know, year two is coming around for every one of these people. Why don't the trial lawyers that advertise on TV put all their money together and explain in simple plan on TV for once instead of beating up insurance companies or chasing ambulance? Why don't they for once come on TV and say, hey, here's all we have to do to straighten this out? And if you want to, if all the answer is to beat up on the insurance companies, because that's it. They got a 10-point plan to do it, and everything beats up the insurance companies. Okay? Let's do it. Let's try it. Let's see if the trial lawyers that spend money on advertisement, let's see if the trial lawyers can give us and then let's do what they say. Let's, the governor and the legislature get behind whatever the trial lawyers tell us. And let's see if insurance companies are going to stay. Let's see if insurance companies will play. Let's see if people will get a break at home. I'm sick of watching us not make a change. We got the damn trial lawyer, political ones that do all advertisement. The ones that are doing all advertisement, and they won billions. Why don't they give us the answer? I mean, all I ever hear is, oh, we just want to take care of the customer. We want to be lawyers for life. We want to be your lawyer for life. Okay? The way you can be my friend and my lawyer for life is to show me what works for the people here, not just the trial lawyers. They won't give any examples of what they need to do. They run around, they fly around in their jets. But they won't come up with the solution. Why don't they spend a little bit of their money and effort on what we need to do? They won't, will they? Well, why won't they do that, Mr. Griffon? Ask them. I don't mind them coming here on this program. Let's bring the best trial lawyers in town. Come sit here with the dummy on the air and explain to us about what y'all doing is good, insurance companies are doing is bad. Okay, y'all come up with the laws we need to pass. Y'all smart. Y'all, my God, you attorneys. Y'all ought to be able to figure out everything. So the political trial lawyers that spend all the money on TV, and that's the ones I'm focusing on here. The other ones are just playing by the ruse. No problem. Play by the ruse. Why don't they give us the answer? Because everything they come up with, they say no, 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 no. And by the way, by them saying no, it always benefits them. Ever notice that? It's time. Folks, it's time. It's past time. People can't pay the insurance rates. The trucking companies, I had them on last week, they're struggling. They bet off to move out. I think to go along with the governor's plan, we got to have some help in the insurance guy. And by the way, nobody will argue with me on this except who? The trial lawyers. They argue about everything. They don't want you to do anything. Why? Why don't the trial lawyers, and I'm talking about the political ones, why don't they want to do nothing about anything to do and they can care less of what you're paying? I'll tell you why. It's easy. And making a killing. Name a company out there that brags about making billions of dollars. Name one. Name one. Anyone. Insurance companies don't do that. Chemical plants don't do that. Oil and gas companies don't do that. Pharmaceuticals are not doing that. Walmart's not out there doing that. There's one group of people. It's a small group. One group is out there bragging about how they billions of dollars. I got billions of dollars. They go out there and give away bicycles so people go, wow, what a company. Y'all better give away bicycles. Hell, they make it a killing. Why don't we have all these insurance companies? Why? There's a company out there, I forget the name of the company, Nationwide is on your side, except in Louisiana. We don't write there because we don't want to be sued. Nationwide don't write here. Nationwide writes in 48 or 49 states, not Louisiana. So see, folks, why are we wasting our time with talking to politicians and insurance companies and all that when all the people that got to come to the table get these big, powerful trial lawyers and sit them down and say, okay, whatever y'all tell us to do, we're going to do. And if they happen to wipe the insurance companies out and all get the hell out of here, then we'll know who to blame. We can go to the insurance company. You ran them all out. And if everything gets fixed, we'll pat the trial lawyers on the back. Thank you, thank you, thank you, sir. I got to get on top of a truck, even though I'm not qualified. Get on top of the truck to hug me a trial lawyer. Got to get on top of the ambulance to hug me a trial lawyer. Folks, you see it's brilliant. I'm not saying I'm brilliant. I'm saying it's a brilliant idea to fix this and everybody wins. And if the insurance companies do what they say and we make new laws and the people back home are paying less and the insurance companies can survive and more come in to compete and trial lawyers are still making some money, everybody wins. But I can guarantee you what they're not going to do. They're not going to do what I'm saying because they know damn good and well they love it just like it is. So trial lawyers offer anything except they know how to make $1 billion for their customers. That's what's going on, folks. So why don't we just let them tell us what we need to do? If Digger Earl wants to come on TV, on the radio tomorrow and next day and tell us how to fix all this, and everything's about the insurance companies, let's listen. If Gordon, whatever his name is, guy stands on the truck, all these people let them come in and tell us, and let's do exactly what they tell us. Tell you what they'd do. If they come in here and we did what they said, there wouldn't be an insurance company left in Louisiana. And by the way, that would be showing that they're responsible. They're willing to put their money behind their mouths. They're willing to put their money behind what we need to do. I'm talking about political trial lawyers that you see on TV every day. The ones, getting billions of dollars for their customers. They care about the little guy. They're going to give you bicycles. We'll take a break. Be right back.
As Louisiana's only fiberglass manufacturer and fabricator, C-Safe Fiberglass Grading and Structural Systems has provided corrosion-resistant products to the Gulf Coast for over 45 years. Our fiberglass grading, cable trays, and structural shapes are ideal to replace corroded, rotting building products and can be custom fabricated by the best fiberglass craftsmen in the world, right here in Lafayette. Contact C-Safe or visit our website at csafe.com. That's S-E-A like the ocean, S-A-F-E.com.
If you've got some projects to do around the house and you need the voice of experience, of local voice, somebody that can help you and knows Louisiana, you need to check out Stein Home & Yard. They're a Louisiana company, founded, established here. They've been based here. Their story dates back all the way to 1946. Stein Home & Yard has all the things you need to make your house ready for fall. Great deals on fall plants like mums, as well as all sorts of handy items you need for your house. Need to upgrade your power tool game? They've got great deals on DeWalt power tools. They also have great deals on grills for your next tailgate for the big game this weekend. Traeger pellet grills, Weber grills, Charbroil, so many great brands, and it's all right there at your fingertips. Just pull them up, steinhome.com. Steinhome.com is where you need to go to find the greatest deals on your home improvement needs. Steinhome.com, a great Louisiana company.
This is Moon Griffon. The sun has never raised its rates, but your local energy company sure has. Solar Louisiana can install residential home solar systems with huge battery storage, or they can add batteries to your existing system. If there's an outage, you are sitting pretty with all the electricity you need. Imagine an electric bill so low, you can pay it with pocket change you find in your couch. Solar Louisiana has the experience you need to make the right decision. Online at solarlouisiana.net. Your energy independence company, Solar Louisiana.
Give me the VIN.
Hey, hello, welcome back. Happy Thanksgiving. Great to be with you. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. Cane Real Pecan giveaway. A lot of people trying to win them. Somebody will win them today. I promise you here at the end of this. By the way, my third hour today, that's usually on in Lafayette. They interrupted by Cajun ball game. So I'm doing just 2 today. I'm just letting you know that. All righty. Let's go to Norman. Norman, welcome to the Moon Griffon Show, sir.
Moon, I've got a what's next question. When the trial lawyers succeed in chasing all the insurance companies out of Louisiana, who they going to sue? You know, eventually the buffalo hunters ran out of buffalo.
No, I think it's a great idea, but there's still chemical plants in all companies they can sue. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Don't forget that. We got legacy lawsuits out there still trying to settle that for billions of dollars. So I don't know what they're going to do. Let me ask you a question, Norman. I got one for you. You've heard of insurance companies not writing here like Nationwide, moving out. Have you ever heard of a law firm moving out of Louisiana? A big firm moving out of Louisiana.
It kind of relates. It kind of relates to my question there, doesn't it? Well, they got other people to sue, but it's early money. I forgot about them. But yeah.
No, Norman, let me ask you a question. I'm not a genius, as you know, but I think it's a genius plan. Let the trial lawyers who never go to the meetings. The insurance companies always say, hey, we need this, we got to try to do it. Maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong, doesn't matter. And everything the trial lawyers say, ain't going to work, we're shooting that down, ain't going to work, shoot it down. Okay, fine, good. Let everybody leave. Let the trial lawyers, I'm talking about the political ones, not my friends in the trial lawyers, but the political ones that you see on TV every day, bragging about their billions, come in, sit down with the governor and the legislature and say, hey, guys, here's what you have to do to get this right. Why don't they do that? And I'll tell you why they won't do it is because, first of all, they love it just like it is. If they would come in, let them fix it. Tell me and look, if they fix it and our insurance rates start going down and getting a break, and we still have insurance companies we can write, and they still around too, then it's a win for everybody. But see, they're not going to do what I'm asking because they want it just like it is. They got the money to keep pounding insurance companies, and they are pounding them.
By the way, Moon, them dollars don't come out the insurance company's pocket.
You and me.
Amen?
No, you and me. I know it. And look, I'm not. Everybody said you're always defending the insurance companies. I ain't defended the insurance companies yet.
Hey,
I ain't defended them one time.
I'm really not in love with anybody that want, but I'd like to move on. I'd like to make a living.
Well, let me ask you a question. So, if the trial lawyers do what I'm saying, come in with your massive plan, and we do everything they want, and all the insurance companies leave, and we can't buy insurance, then we know who to blame. If they come in and the insurance companies can come in and we get in a break and trial lawyers are still hanging around, everybody wins. But if the insurance companies leave, who they going to sue? Well, turn around and sue you and me. We still driving vehicles. But the point being is they could fix it because, remember, they're lawyers. They're smarter than us. And by the way, and I'm not dogging in trial lawyers. I got some of my best friends are lawyers.
No, everybody got to put shoes on the baby's Moon, but let's be fair about this.
Well,
okay, Moon. Well, that's it. Bye.
Okay, thank you. I just want and I can start naming all of them. Y'all can name them all too that I think ought to step to the plate. And we see them on TV every day. They standing on top of big trucks. They driving big trucks. They they talk about the good hands people. Talk about the billions of dollars insurance companies have. That's fine. Good. They can show you numbers. That's fine. Come in and fix it. That's all we're asking. I'm asking the trial lawyers. This is kind of a stress call. What do we do, guys? Ladies and gents, what do we do? Got to have lawyers. There are legitimate suits out there, no doubt about it. So what do we do? Y'all tell us. Seems like to me you got the answer. Y'all making billions of dollars. Y'all got to be smarter than me. I do my few little $100,000 in sales a year, and I'm happy. So y'all smarter than me. So y'all come to the table. Y'all smarter than the legislature because every time they pass something, y'all go, ain't gonna work. Y'all shoot it down. Y'all stop stuff in committees every time they look like something that might go. Y'all tell us it ain't gonna work. Y'all tell us, hey, y'all passed 224 tort reform, and look where we are in the good. Let's get everybody out the way. Bring those smart trial lawyers in, the ones running all the advertisement, and fix it. That's what I want to see. I want to see them get involved. Instead of poo-pooing every idea that comes across. Climate czar Stephen Parr. Don't go nowhere, folks. We'll take a break. Be right back. With 5 Louisiana locations, I always make it a point to visit Superior Grill when I'm traveling in the great state of Louisiana. I love the food there. It's authentic Mexican food with a Louisiana twist. Their menu has all your favorites: nachos, quesadillas, enchiladas, tacos, fajitas, hand-cut steaks, and the best margaritas in the state. You can go to Superior for lunch or dinner, and folks, you're going to thank me for it. My lovely bride and I eat at Superior Grill every chance we get. They're on Line Avenue in Shreveport, Government Street and Highland Road in Baton Rouge, St. Charles Avenue in New Orleans, and on College Saloon in Lafayette. I'm talking great food, great service, and great margaritas. The best Mexican food with the Louisiana twist is found at Superior Grill, Shreveport on Line Avenue, Baton Rouge on Government Street and Highland Road, New Orleans on St. Charles Avenue, and College Saloon in Lafayette. This is Moon Griffon. I'll see you at Superior Grill.
If you are a loved one or suffering from addiction, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Norris Metayer.
We help people through their detox with minimal withdrawal symptoms. Even though it's a 10-day treatment, I look at the first 4 or 5 days as the brain restoration piece. And when the brain restoration piece turns on, that's when we have patients go, wow, a light bulb turned on or a switch was turned on. All of a sudden, their prefrontal cortex is working and their midbrain is also working. They're not craving. They're thinking clearly. They see things clearly and they have more confidence.
Put your addiction behind you. Call Springfield Wellness Center, 225-755-9566.
Just call us. That's all. And we'll be waiting for you.
225-755-9566. 755-9566. Springfield Wellness Center. SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com.
With Bad Boys. I love this song. I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
For those fortunate enough to help the person who has always been their hero, find the care guides you need to help at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This hour brought to you by the Matthew James Tax Pros. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Happy Thanksgiving. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. You can email me, moon@moongriffon.com. Give some cane Rubicons away in about another 20 minutes or so. Thanks to my buddy Stephen Paul. I call him my climate czar, but he's way more than that. American Ground Radio, nationwide. He's also a meteorologist for Salem Media. He also does the weather for Joe Piscopo. His show, I think it's in New York. Stephen, how you doing, brother? Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, Moon. I'm doing peachy just fine, sir. How about you?
I'm doing good. Got a lot of things to cover real quick, which I called Stephen. I always give him at least 20 minutes before I get him to come on. That way he can prepare. That way he can prepare for things that I didn't tell him what we were going to talk about. So see, it's pretty good with me. You just probably come on here and go, oh well, I don't know where we're going. Stephen, let me be real blunt. Trump knows this is a hoax. This whole Green New Deal, climate change ain't a hoax because climate change is reality. We have it every day. But it's such a hoax. I'm going to throw something off the chart that ain't never going to happen, which really should. Okay. Everybody that every university professor, everybody in politics, everybody here and all over this world really ought to come clean and apologize for the money they stole from the American people and other people as well over the outright lie. Why can't they step forward and say, look, we missed on this. This is not true. And, they put a few thousand people in jail, but I know that ain't going to happen either. But why don't they just come? Why can't government and these people involved in this come clean and say this was a hoax? Why can't they just be honest with the American people and talk about how big a lie this is?
I think there's two possible reasons on this. There are some people who genuinely believe this hoax. I agree with you. I think it's a hoax. I think it's a scam. But I think there are people who genuinely believe this to their core. Mm-hmm. They're dead wrong, but they believe in it. And for them, there's no evidence that can dissuade them, which means they're not practicing science. Mm-hmm. If you are not able to have your opinion changed based on data and based on math, based on the models, if you can't have your opinion changed on that, then you are not practicing science. You are practicing faith. And putting faith in the end of the world is, maybe not the best idea. So I think there's a category that's like that. There's also the category of people that make their living off of it. And so if you were to come out and say, you know what, this whole thing's been a hoax, I'm going to go get myself a real job now. I mean, what are the odds of that? People are going to keep this going as long as they can because they make money off of it. And the reason why the government should apologize to the American people is because the government has wasted our tax dollars.
Yeah, big time.
Billions and billions of dollars are spent on climate change research every single year. And actually, if you want to get your research study funded, the easiest, best way to do it is to link whatever it is you're studying to climate change. So if you want to look at the migratory patterns of the African swallow, you say, well, let's link that to climate change. We'll see how climate change is affecting the migratory patterns of the African swallow. Oh, great. Here, have $1 million.
Yep. Grants, no doubt.
And if you don't link it to that, you're not going to get the money, which is a real problem for these collegiate scientists.
Yeah.
This is one of the things that I'm actually really excited about with the incoming Trump administration is the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. Because one of the things that I really think we need to do is we need to get the government out of the business of science. When government gets involved in science, they say, oh, we're a neutral party. We're just going to fund science for the sake of science. That's not how it works. You end up funding science for political purposes, for political reasons. And you end up with skewed science as a result.
Yeah, but it's no doubt it's skewed. You know, one of the things that's amazing, though, I'm starting to see it fail everywhere. The EVs, for instance. I'm going to let you talk a little bit about what went on overseas on, what is it, CPO, whatever the heck they were.
The climate conference.
Yeah, the Northvolt's bankruptcy, an EV crash. 46%, here's one, 46% of EV owners plan to switch back to gas. Here's why. American EV demand could dive 27% more. They can't make it without tax credits. And I think people are seeing 800 Ford jobs are gone, that 4,000 are gone. In other words, everything's starting to fail around this. Everything. Every part of it. Windmills. They figured out this is a joke. Solar panel farms popping up everywhere. Joke. Carbon captures could be laughed at by the dumbest person on earth. I'm seeing this stuff fail and fail and fail, and it's all driven by government money, which really is driven by taxpayer money between you and me and everybody else. I'm seeing the failure of it where they went way beyond, way before us, fail. And so I'm hoping this will start waking up people going, enough of this is enough. This is ludicrous. If you want an electric vehicle and somebody makes it, buy it. I shouldn't have to help pay for that.
That's exactly right. So there's a couple thoughts on this. First of all, the left knows that this will fail. The left, when it really gets down to it's their dollars that are involved, even the left goes, wind and solar doesn't work. And here's my evidence of that. You've heard about the new AI data center that's going to come in up towards Monroe. That's being done by Meta, the parent company.
Well, I heard
Facebook.
The potential of it, but, when they say that, a lot of times they never show up. But, yeah, go ahead.
That's true. Yeah, they may or may not show up. Okay, so in their plans of building that AI data center, right across the street from the data center, they want to build a new power plant by Entergy. And Entergy has asked to put in a 1,500 megawatt. It's a massive facility. 1,500 megawatt gas-powered power plant, natural gas power plant. When Facebook is trying to build its future, it's not basing it on wind and solar.
Oh, good point.
It's basing it on natural gas because Facebook, Zuckerberg, knows the wind and solar doesn't work. It won't provide the energy needs he requires for his AI plant.
By the way, I know where that's at. I got a good friend of mine that told me about this back. The state got the land when General was there because there was supposed to be a car plant, all that, which was never coming. But they actually sold the land or swapped out the land or whatever. So he had been telling me that for many, many years. And so it's amazing. That's in the middle of nowhere. So you got to build. That's why I'm wondering, does it come? How do you get the number of people you need to work? I mean, we're talking about in the middle of nowhere. But by the way, I'm all for it if they want to build it. I just wish it would be no federal, state, or local money.
Right. And you want to build it, your private enterprise, that's outstanding. But when people have to put their money where their mouth is, not your money where their mouth is, they're going to pick the thing that's most efficient, most effective, and that's why they're going with natural gas when it's their money on the line. And the other part that I wanted to talk about was when the government started to mandate electric vehicles, one of the things they did was they cut out the innovation in what was the most promising, the two most promising technologies up until then. Hybrid cars were really on the go. The hybrid cars were developing and gaining market share. So you've got a gasoline-powered engine that charges up a battery as you're driving, and then when you idle or when you get enough charge, the battery takes over. So you're not having to plug your hybrid car into the wall. You're simply using gasoline, but the gasoline is adding extra benefit for the hybrid car. That hybrid technology was gaining market share and was doing well, and people who had hybrid cars liked the hybrid cars. They were getting amazing gas mileage off of it. But because we went in and said, nope, now we're going to go into EV, the number of hybrid cars sales has declined significantly, except for Toyota, because Toyota never really bought into the whole climate, the whole EV mandate.
Smart.
So Toyota's been keeping this benefit, this engine technology of hybrid. They've been continue working on that, Toyota and Honda, and they're actually going to be ahead of Ford and GM when it comes to hybrid technology because they didn't spend all of their money on EV technology.
Yeah, man, that was so smart of them. And the problem with the EVs is the mandate. Get out of the mandate. And by the way, then it becomes a problem that if you buy a combustion engine, you're paying for somebody's EV. Them things are losing their butts off, man. And that's why I'm hoping Trump wipes all that out. You want to build one, that's fine.
You want to own one, that's fine.
Yep.
But don't make me pay for it and subsidize it with when it's not my benefit, when it's not my thing.
By the way.
And Trump needs to get rid of that day one.
Yeah, last thing, I got to take a break. Another major auto parts bank brand files for Chapter 11 auto part companies for car makers such as BMW, Audi, Porsche, bankruptcy, and all electric vehicle has faced some significant financial distress, bankruptcies, and liquidations. I mean, it's killing these people. Let me take a break, come back and wrap up with Stephen Parr, my climate czar, a couple more Q&As with him. You're listening to The Moon Griffon Show.
It started with direct messages. That's how they got to my son. Gavin was just 17 and looking forward to college. He was contacted by online predators pretending to be a teenage girl. He was the victim of sexual extortion. In less than 2 hours after that first message, Gavin died by suicide. It's a pain I don't want any other parent to feel. Social media is causing an epidemic of bullying, anxiety, and depression, and it's leaving kids vulnerable to the kind of predators that targeted my son. We have to hold big tech accountable and pass the Kids Online Safety Act. I couldn't protect my son, but now it's my mission to make sure all kids are protected. I'm a father and a proud conservative, and I'm here to tell Speaker Johnson, pass the Kids Online Safety Act, because nothing is more important than protecting our kids.
Paid for by Issue One Action, which is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. IssueOneAction.org.
Nestled in gently rolling hills in North Louisiana is a place that produces the finest Louisiana wines around. Landry Vineyards. This place is phenomenal. Not only are they passionate about growing wine grapes and making Landry Vineyards wine, they also have cottages and RV sites you can rent, tours, and live music on Saturdays and tastings Monday through Saturday. Available in over 650 stores throughout Louisiana, I encourage you to visit and try Landry wine direct from Landry Vineyards. This is another great Louisiana company that has my full support, and they're Louisiana certified. A red blend they labeled Bayoutage, Blackberry Merlot, Cabs, Rosé, Petite Syrah, dry and sweet whites, and many, many other wines. Learn more about their wines and their vineyard online at LandryVineyards.com. This is Moon Griffon. My lovely bride and I love the wines from this great Louisiana company, Landry Vineyards, and so will you. Go visit their beautiful winery and find them in your local grocery store. If they don't have Landry Vineyards wine, ask and ask again. LandryVineyards.com. Woo, good wine right here. Taxes. Hello, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show, Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. On that, we do have Stephen Parr, my climate czar. I made that up. It's not really my climate czar unless I hope he takes it proudly. I hope you're taking that name proudly, Mr. Parr.
Of course. Of course I take that name proudly. I walk around town. I've had people walking to me, hey, look, it's the Moon Griffon climate czar. Look at that, Stephen. I see. And look, Moon, I've been called much, much worse in my career, so.
Get in line, brother. Get in line. I've learned of new places to put my head on doing this program. I just can't pick on that. That's okay though. It's all in show business. I tell. Hey, you when you look at what's going on, how big of an impact can President Trump have for us to get the hell out of all this? Or will he? Because I've already seen, I hate to tell you, one of my favorite all-time business in the world is the oil and gas industry. And I'm hearing they're starting to fight him because they want that money. They want them credits. They want carbon capture because it's money for their companies. That bothers me to no end. I've read about 5 articles like that going, all companies are asking Trump, hold up on those, because they want them now. And just your thoughts on, because what kind of change can Trump make, especially through the EPA, especially through money going out like this?
Yeah, the biggest thing that I've seen and the most encouraging thing I've seen was the Wall Street Journal op-ed by Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk talking about what they're going to do with the Department of Government Efficiency. And their approach to it is right on. One of the things they pointed out was over the last couple of years, there have been 2 very important Supreme Court rulings. One of them said that the government agencies, just because they make up their rules, that doesn't necessarily mean those rules are constitutional or legal. That the government agencies, specifically like the EPA, do not have the power and authority to create the rule of law. That's what the EPA has been doing. That's what all of these mandates that come down on electric vehicles and on, waters of the USA and all of those things, those come down from mandates done by bureaucrats, not by legislation passed by people we elect. And the Supreme Court said, no more. That is not technically legal. That is not technically constitutional. And the other part was getting rid of the Chevron deference, where the Supreme Court came out and said, the courts are no longer allowed to simply assume that the bureaucracies are right. When they make a rule, we're not allowed to just say, okay, well, the bureaucracy knows best. We're going to let them set the rules. And DOE just come out and said those 2 things mean we have to get rid of thousands and thousands and thousands of regulations that have been passed since the 1980s that are all unconstitutional, all illegal. They have to go. And once those things go away, the EPA loses a massive amount of power.
But that has to happen.
That has to happen. And when they lose that power, there's a lot of this whole push on carbon capture, on EV mandates, on solar and wind mandates. All of that starts to go away because there is no market demand for it. The only demand for it comes from government mandates.
Yeah, and that's going to be very, very important. But, you got to deal with all these high schools and all these colleges and universities that are drilling this in these kids' head. They get to be adults and they believe it. They really fundamentally believe that the planet's burning up when it's not. And that's my frustration of watching these people teach these kids this craziness. There was an article and I've been moving papers around all day. I had it right here in front of me, and how it's a university professor right here is regardless of who's in D.C., states still have the power to fight climate change. And there was a professor at Tulane University talking about the election and talking about how we got to. I mean, this stuff needs to stop. How can they stop money flowing to all these groups, including oil and gas? How can they or can they? Because your friend Biden says, he's done enough. They can't return what he's done. They can't turn it around.
Well, most of what Biden did was through executive orders, and that can absolutely be turned around very, very quickly. Executive orders aren't as lasting as laws passed by Congress. Now, his Infrastructure Act, which was pushed by Bill Cassidy, and some of his Green New Deal acts, that were pushed through. Yeah, those are going to stay around, and those are going to keep pushing through some of this climate agenda. One of the things I really hope the Trump administration starts to do is to separate the funding of science from government bureaucracies. So the reason why we have so many college professors who have bought into this flawed idea is because they are getting their bread buttered by bureaucrats who have bought into the same idea. Mm-hmm. If you get rid of that, you can actually have a chance to make our universities less more of the leftist indoctrination centers that they have become. Part of the reason they are that is because they are getting paid by the government to be that. Yeah. If you don't want to spend government money doing experiments on, whether giving alcohol to horseflies makes them more randy, you've got to get rid of the government funding, because no private person, no private industry would fund such a ridiculous research project. And that has got to go away. That government funding of science is not right. We bought into a flawed idea after World War II that government has to fund science simply because of the Manhattan Project and how successful that was. Okay, but there was some urgency and some national security issue behind that. If you don't have national security and urgency behind whatever science it is you're funding, then the government needs to get out of it altogether, because the government is picking winners and losers, and more often than not, the government's actually just picking losers.
Yeah, it seems like everything they touch go to hell in a handbasket.
Because there is no consequence for being wrong. Thomas Sowell said, I think, the dumbest and most dangerous way to run a society is have people who are in charge of it who have no consequences for being wrong. Yep. There are no consequences for being wrong about climate science to the people that are pushing the funding. The only people who are hurt by being wrong about climate science are you and I, the people in the society who have to deal with their bad policies, who have to deal with their bad ideas. The people who are making the science, the people who are getting paid for these studies, there's no negative consequence for the fact that every single climate model put out by the United Nations is off by at least 2 degrees Celsius over the next century. Yeah. But they're off by more than they say we're going to warm.
By the way, you're right. If they were using their own money and they did this, they would be broke. They would pay the consequences for the lie. They're not paying the consequences for the lie since Barack Obama gave us a sense as this is it. We need to do this. People have bought into it, and it's a lie. But take all the federal money out. Take all our money out. All the taxpayer money out of this. None of this. None of it. Even electric vehicles, some would still be making. None of it would be doing. None of it would be working. All of it would be dead.
Elon Musk would still be making EVs because he's figured out how to make a profit on it. Nobody else would.
Nobody else would. Anyway, got to go, Stephen. Thank you so much. Kelly Owen, Horton, Louisiana, winner of the Cane River Pecans. Hey, Stephen, always a pleasure. God bless, my brother. We got to go. We'll see you tomorrow. Terrific Tuesday right around the corner. Happy Thanksgiving.
For the absolute best in local Cajun food, check out Prejean's in their 2 locations in Carencro and Broussard today.